came here legally, the right way, lived the American dream, and now Joe Biden is too weak to stop the radicals, too weak to protect our borders. Biden wants our votes, but he'll raise our taxes and tear apart this place we love. I am Christina. I am an immigrant, and I'm a proud Trump supporter.
America First Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
That is a powerful new ad from the America First Action PAC, which supports President Trump. It's part of a new massive ad buy in battleground states, and we are joined today by the chair of America First Action, Linda McMahon. Ms. McMahon, welcome to you. Let's start with your group's big ad spend. What kind of traction are you starting to see from those ads?
Well, just to start for a little bit, Tom, as you probably know, the job of America First, our super PAC, is really to kind of fill in the gaps for the campaign or to give more weight in markets where the campaign is advertising. We can't coordinate with the campaign, but we can certainly see where they're making their buys. So the ad that you just saw is running in Arizona. And through our polling and focus groups, we found that the messaging in Arizona really is for legal immigrants, but not for illegal immigrants, for the giveaways that go to illegal immigrants. So we've just looked now at making an $18.6 million buy in Florida, North Carolina, in Wisconsin, and we're really putting some good weight behind those numbers because we know that in Wisconsin and North Carolina, the messaging that really registers is against tax hikes. When we look at Western Pennsylvania, it's another place where we're having part of this buy. It's really about energy and fracking, so that messaging is still there. And it's important for us as we look at what specific messaging needs to be that we put our buys behind that messaging and develop those ads which speak directly to those particular areas about the issues that are really bothering them. So all in total for this ad period, we have about $60 million so far in this campaign.
Wow. So, look, James Carville once said it's the economy, stupid, very famously. Are we starting to see in this era of COVID that people are starting to pay more attention to the economy and may vote with their pocketbook once again? It is one of the areas that the president continues to beat Joe Biden is on the economy. Is it going to be really much more of a driver than even coronavirus, which the Democrats they've staked their entire campaign on the coronavirus issue?
Well, we are starting to see now a shift from the total overall concern about COVID. Now, let's not anyone kid ourselves. This is still a big issue, and the virus is still out there, and it is still, it's unfortunately alive and well in many areas. But we are seeing it come down. The death rates come down. The hospitalization use rate come down, and all of that is important, to this campaign. But as we do our focus groups and our internal polling, we are now seeing more people turning towards the economy. Okay, what is the next 4 years going to be like? Am I going to be able to continue to get my small business back up and running? Are schools going to be able to reopen and women be able to return to the workforce? What happens when you have an instance where schools closed off at about 70% of the folks that come out of the workforce are women because they come home to help homeschool, to look out for their families, and it's a little harder for them to get back into the workforce. So all of these things are real concerns now for families. Not to say that we shouldn't, we can't take our eye off the ball, with COVID, but I think all of the measures that the president has put in place and continues to put in place have really gotten a handle on this terrible virus. And this fall, we should have a vaccine. We have more remedial treatments for it, therapeutic treatments for it. So starting to get a control over the virus instead of it controlling us. And that's been very important to get the economy back on its feet. The economy had such a strong base to begin with. And then the virus came in and hit. We took a big hit.
Right.
What we are seeing now is our recovery much faster than any of the other Western nations. So it's a good start, and we're finding that that's what the voters and the citizens of this country want to see. How is our economy going to get back on its feet?
To your point about jobs, you are the former administrator of the Small Business Administration, and right now there is a contentious battle going on in Congress over additional coronavirus relief. The president signed the PPP bill, helped save a lot of small businesses. Democrats on the Hill want $1 trillion to bail out blue states, and they have proposed no additional relief for small businesses all across the country. That's a tough fight. That's a big fight. And talk to us about how critical it is that small businesses get some more relief.
It's incredibly critical. Small businesses, actually 99%, that's a huge number, but 99% of the businesses in this country are small businesses. And we realize that that's the backbone of our economy. 2 out of 3 net new jobs are created by small businesses. We have to get those businesses back up and running. And PPP was really very instrumental in that, because about 50 million jobs, were saved by the loans that did go out and the support that was given, through the government with PPP. And we do need that extra stimulus now just to continue getting these businesses up and running. And unfortunately, some of the businesses that had just gotten on their feet and back up and running, then they were involved in a lot of the rioting that has been happening throughout some of our cities. And, those small business owners have seen their businesses totally destroyed, by the fire and by the wreckage of the riots, not the peaceful protests, but the rioting then that has gone on. So there are a lot of things affecting small businesses that President Trump is addressing and calling on Congress to come back and pass this additional supplemental bill so that these businesses can even move forward.
Linda McMahon, chair of America First Action PAC. It's a big media buy. We really appreciate you joining us, and we hope to have you back.
Thanks so much.